The economy grew by 4.8% last year. Inflation was below 1%. So by all measures of the hard data, Singapore has done really well last year. And the question that maybe I have to you, Suhaana, and to many Singaporeans is, do they feel that their standards of living have improved by 5%? Do businesses feel that they've done 5% better? I reckon that many would say no. I have a hypothesis on that. Fewer Singaporeans are benefiting directly from economic growth and economic development.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of 5 Questions With from the Business Times. I'm Suhaana, and with me today is Shawn Loh, a Member of Parliament and the Budget Director for 2024 and 2025. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shawn.
Thank you for having me.
I first want to ask you, as the former Budget Director, can you take us behind the scenes? What does the role entail?
Sure. So the Budget Director is somewhat like the stage manager of a play, where you must make sure that everything in government is coordinated to deliver the best budget you can do for Singaporeans. The budget process actually is not just a month-long or even 3 months long process. It takes a full year. So the first year is immediately after the year's budget. You plan for the next year's budget. It then goes up a second gear after the National Day rally, and that's when you are really sitting down with your ministries and agency partners, coming together to think about the proposals, engaging the public, talking to stakeholders. And after Christmas, that's when it goes into the highest gear. Every budget pretty much has the largest question that you try to deal with. How do you fulfill unlimited wants with limited resources? And every budget, we have to take into account both the long-term structural trends and challenges that face Singapore, like for example, resource constraints and aging population, as well as the more near-term changes in our operating environment, whether it's the geopolitical side, trade war, or whether it's something that is domestically oriented.
So in your last year as Budget Director, it was a big year and many called it the election budget. Some expect Budget 2026 to focus on more long-term issues, such as the future economy, aging population, and climate change. How do you think this could shape the policy moves for Budget 2026?
First, I must say that I don't have any material non-public information, and I should caveat that to all your listeners. 2025 was called an election budget, most certainly because it was the last budget in the term of government. There are some budget rules that the government abides by, and typically they're a bit more prudent at the start of each term, including 2026, which is at the start of this term of government. I do expect, in a good way, that the 2026 budget would be a little bit more boring.
Okay.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing if it's boring, because that means that you don't need a very big signature move to address a near-term crisis as well. Last year, we were in the midst of very uncertain global economic times. We did not know how the tariffs would hit us. And even in the weeks and days leading up to the budget, we would have to change the budget speech to respond to announcements that are made overseas.
Is that so?
Yes, because every single day there's something new, right?
coming up.
And then you have to adjust to that, and you have to adjust your policies to that as well. This year, the geopolitical environment is uncertain. Manpower costs continue to go up, that's for sure. Progressive wages have helped the lower income segments of population, but they also mean that business costs have gone up, because one man's wage is another man's cost. And that translates into costs for the consumer as well.
You said both geopolitics and global economy are in a state of flux. In your opinion, will this persist? And how can the Budget 2026 continue to shore confidence and support Singaporeans?
Well, Suhaana, we have to remember that each budget is a long-term budget, and each budget builds upon previous budgets. Now, what this means is that going into Budget 2026, we are actually in a very strong position to weather the geopolitical storms. A great example is actually in our defence. It's not usually featured in the news, and most certainly not in Business Times, but our defence budget has been consistently at about 3% of our GDP. That's an incredibly high level. If you think about what's happening in other parts of the world, why NATO sometimes is struggling, why NATO and countries in Europe are asking to contribute more, it's a big difference. You are able to build up your defence and security capabilities, not through one budget, but through successive budgets.
Yeah.
And this can only happen if, again, the support of Singaporeans.
Yeah.
Because to say, we put 3% in defence when top of mind people are thinking about bread and butter issues, it's not so clear-cut. So you need to have a government that is far-sighted, has the confidence of Singaporeans to make these trade-offs. And we are really benefiting from that foresight and that confidence.
In 2025, Singapore's economy grew by 4.8%, which exceeded forecasts. After having a front seat to the last two budgets, to what extent did Budget 2025 support this growth?
Well, Suhaana, I think at one level, it's easy to think about how our budgets have a near-term impact. 2024 and 2025, we had near-term measures like supporting businesses, supporting business costs, having tax rebates. We gave CDC vouchers, and last year we gave SG60 vouchers, which was a slight stimulus to the economy. But I would say that most budgets don't have that near-term impact that most people imagine. The sectors that grew really well were the manufacturing sectors, specifically the export-oriented semiconductors and pharmaceutical sectors. Those sectors did not necessarily benefit from the near-term measures of Budget 2025. But the reason why the economy did so well is because previous budgets laid the foundation for us to then take advantage of the situation in the global economy. Stuff like the refundable investment credit that we announced, that has not yet been actually implemented in much detail. But that would put us in good stead for the next bound of investment promotion when some of our global tax rules change. We topped up funds like the Future Energy Fund. That will only manifest in investments for our future energy infrastructure in the years to come. And maybe someone sitting next to you in 10 years' time is going to have this conversation and say, yeah, because of the budget 10 years ago, we now enjoy the fruits of that labor.
It's all a compounding effect.
It's all a compounding effect.
And looking back, are there any areas or initiatives that you would have done differently for the previous budgets?
So, Suhaana, as you mentioned yourself, the economy grew by 4.8% last year. Inflation was below 1%. So by all measures of the hard data, Singapore has done really well last year. And the question that maybe I have to you, Suhaana, and to many Singaporeans is, do they feel that their standards of living have improved by 5% compared to the year before that or the years before that? Do businesses feel that they've done 5% better? I reckon that many would say no. I have a hypothesis on that, and that's the new trend that fewer Singaporeans are benefiting directly from economic growth and economic development. Now our manufacturing sector is doing well. Last year it was the driver of economic growth. It's now 20% of our GDP, but employs 10% of our workforce and less than 10% of our Singaporean workforce. So fewer workers are then in the sectors that are doing really, really well. If that's the case, and there's another segment of Singaporeans, right? Those who are retired. And therefore, if they're retired, they don't earn the wages that come about from economic growth. So these two segments of workers, if they're not directly benefiting from economic growth, then we need more active government policies to ensure that the fruits of economic growth are better distributed to all Singaporeans.
Now looking at this year, analysts have still largely kept their growth forecasts within MTI's range of 1 to 3%. They have mainly cited external risks, such as geopolitical uncertainty and trade policy. How do you think Budget 2026 will address their concerns?
I think Budget 2026 will have a big focus on the economy.
Okay.
Not least because there's actually a big interministerial task force, the Economic Strategy Review, I think. What is unique about this task force is that compared to previous task forces, this task force is operating in an environment where the economy has actually done well.
Right.
In previous major task forces, like the one in the 1980s when Mr. Lee Hsien Loong led the task force, to the ones after SARS in 2003, and the ones after the global financial crisis, those came after crises. This budget and this task force has, I think, a harder job. Because there's no crisis per se, we need to think about how to ensure that companies can best deal with the disruption. But two, we should also assume that there will be disruption, and therefore, how do we take care of our workers who get disrupted?
Right.
I can only imagine that my former colleagues in the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Finance are thinking about which are the opportunities for growth. Because even though your operating environment is challenging, there are always opportunities for growth. It could be in AI, increasingly it could be in robotics. I think especially for the vulnerable workers, mature PMETs, older workers, who, for example, find it difficult to access the new opportunities of the new economy. I think some of your readers have mentioned ideas like tax credits or support for businesses to train these workers.
Right.
I think that's a great idea because in a season where there's more churn in the economy, when workers are finding their jobs disrupted faster, when skills cycles are getting shorter, broad-based skills training does not help.
Yeah.
You can't think of the skill that you need and then have an institution to teach it. You have to teach it on the job.
You mentioned the hot topic of AI. It seems like the AI boom has no chances of slowing down. So do you still think that companies can stay on the sidelines of this?
I don't think any company can stay on the sidelines of AI. AI globally has certain opportunities for our largest semiconductor chip players, many of whom have operations in Singapore. They are uplifted by the AI boom, and our whole economy is uplifted because they are uplifted. These are the largest global companies at the frontier. Then there's a larger middle segment of companies that are trying to apply AI in their business processes and all. I think SMEs try to do it to varying degrees because our labour market is still quite tight. It's hard to find workers. You have an incentive to apply AI to try to increase your productivity with the same number of workers that you have. AI will be disrupting workers, and I think we need to incentivize companies to hire the disrupted workers and then retrain them on their jobs so that the workers have the assurance that even if they are disrupted because of AI in their current company, they have other opportunities in the economy.
What about those who are just entering the workforce? How can Budget 2026 support them?
If what I'm hearing is right from the young graduates that I meet, there's still a high level of anxiety.
Yeah.
Some have found jobs already. Many have decided to take jobs in sectors that they were not trained for. And I want to give our young graduates a lot of credit as well. I think our young graduates are incredibly resilient. And they're exploring their passions in many different ways. And I don't think we should be so quick to jump and say, what can budget do to support this segment or that segment of the population? I am also reluctant to think about providing support too quickly.
Right.
Yeah. Most of our graduates are entirely resilient, can stand up for themselves, and we shouldn't think of solving their problems before they try to solve them themselves.
I also wanted to know from you, how is the effectiveness of the budget's initiatives measured?
The budget has two parts, the revenue and the expenditure.
Right.
So the revenue part is equally important. The revenues that the government collects through taxes, through the corporate income tax, personal income tax, so on and so forth, that should also be measured because the government has certain projections on how each tax category contributes to a balanced budget. If you don't collect enough, you can't spend what you need to spend on. Corporate income tax collections have ballooned significantly post-COVID. Last year, it was not clear whether this trend would continue. If corporate income tax continues to be at an elevated level, maybe 4% of GDP, it used to be 3% now. The last 2 years it was 4%. If it continues, it's good for Singapore, it's good for all Singaporeans because it means that more companies are making money in Singapore, their profits are in Singapore, and they're paying taxes in Singapore.
Yeah.
So then we have a lot more resources to then support the social welfare programs, the healthcare programs that we want to do.
So you mentioned tax collection. I wanted to ask you about wealth tax and COE. Do you think those are issues that the Budget 2026 could tackle?
On the COE, I have maybe 2 points of view. One, similar to how we look at HDB prices, the COE sticker price is indeed high. It is causing anxiety to many Singaporeans who find a car out of their reach. My measure of the COE and car affordability is to incomes. So what proportion of your income do you spend on that car? I don't have the data, so I'm not sure how that has changed over the last 10 years or 15 years. I do know that for flats, for example, as a proportion of median incomes, it's not gone up by that much for BTOs. And so the best way to think of the COE is with both not just the demand for cars, but also the supply of COEs entering the market. In 2026, I understand that the Ministry of Transport has said that the COE supply is expected to go up, and that will go up to 2027. I was concerned when the COE prices went up so high last year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that would persist into this year. In fact, it seems like the COE prices are moderating, but it's just the start of the year, so we have to see demand as well. Wealth inequality is a challenge of our generation. Even though on your revenue side, your taxes are meant to support your expenditures, there's another use for your taxes and your fiscal system. And that's how to express the values of the country through how you collect taxes from the population. To that end, we probably can do more for some forms of taxes, or maybe immovable assets. Property tax is the easiest one.
Yeah.
The government actually made large property tax moves in the last 5 years, I think, especially for non-owner occupied properties. That means those that you don't stay in, maybe it's for investment, or it's your second property. And I fully support those moves. I have a sense that we can do more in that direction to address some of the widening wealth inequality that we see.
Thank you so much, Shawn, for sharing your experiences and also giving us an insight into what we can expect for Budget 2026. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you, Suhaana.